Ready for a game of cross clues? In this fast-paced word association game, you'll give your fellow players clues that link two words on a grid, and you'll have to do it before time runs out. This play-along tutorial is meant for you to play your first game while you learn, so let's get started. First, we'll open up that box and retrieve our components. In terms of pieces, this game is simple. You should have a stack of 10 axis tiles, a sealed pack of clue and code word cards, and a 5-minute sand timer. There will be moments in this tutorial when I suggest that you pause this video while you do something in your own game. Here's a good time for our first pause while you confirm that your box contains everything pictured here. Time for setup. The first thing you'll need to do each game is to decide if you want to play on easy, intermediate, or expert difficulty. This will determine the size of the grid you'll play on. Since this is our first time, let's set up for an easy game. To do so, create a 3x3 grid by placing the A, B, and C tiles along the top of your grid, and the 1, 2, and 3 tiles down the left side of your grid. The 9 spaces where those tiles cross will be your 3x3 play area. Next, shuffle all your code word cards. These are the only ones with words on them. And place one random card halfway underneath each axis tile so that one word is showing and is facing the grid. Last, gather the clue cards with the axes we're using this game. That means anything with an A, B, C, 1, 2, or 3, and nothing with D, E, 4, or 5. You should end up with 9 clue cards. Shuffle these and place them in reach of all players. You can also get your sand timer ready. The timer in this game is optional, so if timed games stress you out in a not-so-fun way, feel free to play without it. The rest of the components can all go back in your box. I suggest you pause again while you get everything set up as you see it here. Alright, we're ready to play a game of cross clues. I've changed around a few of my code cards to help with some examples I'll be making. This is a fully cooperative free play game, meaning you're all working together to guess as many correct clues as possible, and there is no turn taking. When the game begins, each player draws one clue card from the pile without showing the other players. Each clue card shows coordinates for a crossway point between two of the axis cards. It's up to you to come up with a single word that best links or combines the two words on your clue card. In this example, we've drawn the B2 clue card. Looking at our grid, the word associated with B is ocean, and 2 is vacation. Now perhaps you've thought of a great word to link these two. The word that comes to mind for me is cruise. As I mentioned, there are no turns in this game, so when you think you've got a good word, say it out loud to your fellow players. They'll all be thinking about their own clues, but now they'll also have to glance at the table and see if they know which words you're trying to link. If they think they know, they can guess the coordinates of your card, and if they're correct, you can place your card face up at those coordinates. Careful when you're making guesses on other people's clues. Only one guess can be made per clue, and if it's wrong, that card is then placed to the side without revealing its coordinates. But you're always free to discuss your guesses for a clue someone has given before you make a final guess. So check in with your fellow players about what you think the best guess would be. No matter whether the other player's guess was right or wrong, you'll now draw a new card with new coordinates. So what are the rules for your clue giving? A clue cannot be more than one word. It can't have the same root or be the same word as any of the code cards. And once a clue is given, no one else can give the same clue for a future clue card. Alright, you're ready to play your first game. Your game will end when one of these two things happens. If there are no clue cards left in the pile or in anyone's hand, you're done. Or, if you're playing with the timer, the game ends when time runs out. We'll catch back up for scoring, but for now you can pause the video and play. If you're playing with the sand timer, flip it now and begin. Okay, game 1 is in the books. Your final score is the number of correct guesses your group made. You can find that number by counting the face-up cards in your grid. In your rulebook, there's a handy scoring chart. It will rate your score based on your difficulty level. If your score is failed or average, it's time to reset and try again. And if you got good or perfect, it may be time to bump up the difficulty. Well, that's it for this play-along tutorial of Cross Clues. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, the first game never counts.